Hello and welcome to Views on News. I am Jawad Tehami. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim is going to pay a 3-day official visit to Pakistan from 2nd to 4th of October on the invitation of Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, and he is going to be accompanied by a high-level delegation, including the ministers, deputy ministers and high-ranking officials. According to Pakistan's Foreign Office, Malaysian Prime Minister will hold meetings with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, and the two sides will discuss a wide-ranging agenda to further strengthen Pakistan-Malaysia ties in diverse fields. Pakistan and Malaysia enjoy strong bilateral ties anchored in history, culture and faith. This visit provides an important opportunity to further strengthen Pakistan-Malaysia relations. In today's show, we are going to take a deeper look into this important bilateral relationship between Pakistan and Malaysia, especially in the context of this upcoming visit by the Malaysian Prime Minister. For that, we are honored to have been joined in the studio by Mr. Agha Iqrar Haroon, senior analyst. Mr. Haroon, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. Also in the studio, we are honored to have been joined by Ms. Naela Chohan, former ambassador, also Special Secretary Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs here in Pakistan. Ms. Naela, thank you very much for your time, also for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. Let me begin the discussion with you, Mr. Haroon. And let's start from the very basics. Since the inception of this bilateral relationship between Pakistan and Malaysia in 1957, what has been the major foundation of this particular relationship over these years? How this bilateral relationship has evolved?
Thank you so much. Tehami, actually, things are changing and perspectives are changing world over. What kind of relation we had with any other country was in 50s or 60s or 70s is altogether different what now we have to have with that particular country. Malaysia and Pakistan had been known for the relationship as the two brotherly Muslim countries, blah, blah, blah. But things are changing. I mean, Indo-Pacific is changing. And I believe that Pakistan should look far ahead in Indo-Pacific, I mean the Far East also, because Pakistan being a, you can say, strategic partner and very close ally of China, has very high stakes in Indo-Pacific, because you can say the anti-China elements are trying to block China over there, and China is planning and already you can say is successful to plan a passage in a safe, I mean you can say in the face of CPAC. But there are countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, they are very important. Forget I'm talking above than this religious background. So relationship and bilateral trade must grow between Pakistan and all other Indo-Pacific countries, particularly in Far East. And you know, this is a Malaysian Prime Minister is coming up. I mean, this would be after a long time there could be a interaction with Pakistan and Malaysia, particularly at the level of the, you can say, chief executive level. But our, I was, before coming to you, I was looking at on the statement of bilateral trade. It's very less. Rather, it's imbalance. I mean, Pakistan buy more things from Malaysia than the Malaysia does from Pakistan. So these are the very important factor. And one thing I would like to mention over here, Malaysia has a very great initiative that is called Malaysian Technical Cooperation. Pakistan had been taking advantage of that in past, but according to my understanding, and I have seen the documents also, at least for the last 10 years we are not sending experts to there, or we are not collaborating with Malaysia for this particular technical cooperation.
Two very important points that you've just highlighted, talking specifically about the bilateral trade, the kind of strong bond Pakistan and Malaysia do have, but the kind of volume in terms of trade, that doesn't actually show that very strength of the relationship. And also that Malaysian technological cooperation program, the kind of training and the guidance which was being imparted to the people from Pakistan, what needs to be done on those particular two fronts? What is required in order to enhance that trade volume between the two countries? In a recent event, the deputy head of the Malaysian mission here in Pakistan talked about that also, that stands around $1.78 billion right now. I'll come back to you to take your deeper understanding regarding what could be done on that front. Ms. Naela, when we talk about the very foundation of this bilateral relationship, we'll be looking at, everybody is anticipating this high-level visit by the Malaysian Prime Minister to Pakistan, 3-day official visit. Of course, he's going to engage in a very high-level meetings here in Pakistan. A wide-ranging agenda is going to come under discussion between both the sides. Historically talking about, since the inception of this bilateral relationship, what has been the cornerstone of this particular relationship and how did it consolidate over the years?
Well, Mr. Tehami, let me tell you, I have had the pleasure of serving in Malaysia. So I know Malaysia from inside. Pakistan was one of the first countries to establish diplomatic relations with Malaysia in 1957. And we have had very interesting relationship, very cordial. There have been ups and downs, particularly in 1965. But as you know, the Constitution of Malaysia was drafted by Justice Hamid, who was a Pakistani. And a lot of the rules and regulations have been made by Pakistanis. So they have always looked at Pakistan as one of the important countries for fortifying relationship. We are members of many international and regional fora, like we are members of OIC, we are members of NAM, G77 plus China. At the time that we were there, we actually in 97 helped Pakistan become sectoral partner in ASEAN. After that, unfortunately, nothing happened, but like was said by Haroon sir, that the volume of trade was not sufficient to merit further enhancement of Pakistan's participation in ASEAN. We have to look at it carefully, but we have OIC, we have UN, we have NAM, we have D8, we have G77. There are various fora where we have same or similar perspective on international and regional issues. We cooperate. At this moment, you have about 1,60,000 Pakistanis in Malaysia. We have about 4,500 Pakistani students in Malaysia. We have JCDC, which is defense cooperation. We have trade cooperation platform also, and I think in Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's visit also, there will be a few MOUs and agreements signed to further fortify the relationship in these areas, particularly trade. For example, if you examine, you know, the best way to understand the intention of the other countries to see the composition of the delegation. And if you look at the delegation that is coming with Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, it is his trade minister, it is his foreign minister, it is his deputy education minister. So these are the areas they are looking at. Yes, the balance of trade is in favor of Malaysia, but that is because we import a lot of palm oil. What we export to them does not have the same value, although we have a lot of export to Malaysia. We export rice to them, we export a lot of things, vegetables, onions, potatoes, quinoas. So there are many areas where we do export to them, and now you know that Proton has decided to establish manufacturing, you know, plant here. So yes, I think it's a very strong relationship.
Very diverse diverse
Very
bilateral
diverse,
relationship.
very diverse.
Let's talk about that political front. As you already mentioned in your take, the drafting of the Malaysia's constitution as part of that Raid Commission, Justice Abdul Hamid of Pakistan. So what does that basically signify? That makes us understand that bilateral relationship was very cordial, very deep-rooted at the very inception of it, that it was Pakistan that actually was at the forefront when it came to the drafting of that particular constitution. Speaks volumes how both the countries keep each other. Could
Very
you
true.
shed more light on that?
Very true. I have had the pleasure of meeting Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who was at that time Finance Minister when we were posted there. I'm talking about 97 when Mahathir was the Prime Minister. And Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim always had a lot of fondness for Pakistan. I remember once he remarked that Pakistanis are so brilliant, half of your country must be PhD. And I just kept quiet that we are 60% Angutha Chap. But I couldn't say that to him. But that's the kind of warmth they have. And if you allow me to tell you a bit of stories in this, how did we establish our embassy compound there? Tunku Abdul Rahman, who was their first Prime Minister, was a very good friends with the then ambassador, who was General Shirali. And they both used to go and play polo. So one day Tunku said, "Why do you come from so far? There's a house right in front of mine. Why don't you buy it and make it your embassy?" And incidentally, that was a house that was supposedly haunted house. And it was used as a torture camp during World War II by the Japanese. So because it was haunted, no Malaysian wanted it. But generally, Shirali said, "I'm an army guy. I have no fears with ghosts. I will buy it." So we bought that property, which became Pakistan Embassy there. It is such a beautiful compound. Of course, now we are haunting it. There are no ghosts there. But it is in the Golden Triangle. It is the most prestigious property you could think of. But at that time, it was a haunted house. Same goes for the residents.
So it goes to the credit of Pakistanis. They've actually built that place,
Yes.
graced it with the presence over there, which was considered haunted by the Malaysians at that particular time. Mr. Haroon, very interesting throwback onto the memories, Ms. Naela Chohan. When we take a stock of the political relationship, this significant step when we talk about a Pakistani being involved in drafting the constitution of Malaysia, on what other fronts in political domain both the countries have collaborated?
First of all, let me add one thing. I mean, Ms. Naela is basically, you can say, a history and an encyclopedia of Pakistan foreign relationship. And she is the best person to share people like you and me the past, which was very golden. As now I'm coming to your point. Tehami, our past was really golden. Pakistan was writing constitutions for other countries. Pakistan was creating airlines for other countries. Pakistan was providing the best possible engineers to the other countries. But today, Pakistan is not that Pakistan. That Pakistan is lost somewhere. So, therefore, the relation of Pakistan with other countries like Malaysia or other countries are not at par. So, we need to focus on trade, because this multinodal foreign relationship, the new world order, it is based on economy and trade. This is my opinion. The political relation is not as important as you can say, your economic relation. And one time, Putin told to students in a university, Soviet Union lost and it's no more here because it has so many friends but not buyers. So, I think Pakistan should focus to find buyers in Malaysia. And according to my data, for the last 10 years, over 18,000 Pakistani students went to Malaysia for higher education, particularly for PhD degrees. So, you can imagine the the flight of dollar from Pakistan to Malaysia for education. Why cannot Pakistan and Malaysia come together and open a university in Islamabad, Karachi, Lahore, Faisalabad, anywhere? So these are the factors Pakistan should work. These factors are more important than the political relationship.
Right, economic relationship between the two countries already talked about it. The current bilateral trade volume between Pakistan and Malaysia stands at $1.78 billion, according to the deputy head of the mission of Malaysia here in Pakistan. You mentioned a Malaysian technological cooperation program.
Yes.
Pakistan needs to have more buyers. That's what you mentioned earlier in your take. What needs to be done on that particular front when we talk about Pakistanis getting more guidance and expertise and training
Capacity building
from Malaysians under that particular Malaysian technological cooperation program, also helping in enhancing the quality of the products so that they become worth selling to the world, right? So what needs to be done? What could be the roadmap in that direction?
For value addition, we need trainings. For capacity build, capacity building is the foremost for any value addition in any industry, come what may, even the education to, an industry of metal. So we need to get trainings from Malaysian technical cooperation. We had been getting it in past. Over 700 Pakistani got training from Malaysia in different kind of industries.
But do you think that number is sufficient?
Nothing, it is peanuts. I am telling you, Tehami for the but she is the best possible person to comment on that. I am novice, but according to my understanding, for the last 20 years, Pakistan and Malaysia did nothing. So this is important. This is Pakistan.
This is the point. This particular visit provides an
opportunity
for
it's very important visit
and reflection that how this particular bond could be strengthened further in terms of practical manifestations, the practical outcomes in terms of trade, defense cooperation, educational, cultural exchanges, people to people contacts, in terms of tourism also.
Exactly, and that credit goes to the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who is very actively involved to get connected Pakistan with Far East.
Okay, so
because we forget for Far East for a very long time.
Indeed, it goes to the credit of the incumbent Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. He invited Malaysian Prime Minister. He is going to be here for 3 days. High-level stakeouts are going to be there during this particular visit. Pakistan and Malaysia do have a free trade agreement. Despite having a free trade agreement, we often get to hear that when two countries do have a free trade agreement, naturally it leads to enhancement of the bilateral trade volume considerably. Why? What were the challenges, do you think, or what were specific areas that need to be improved in order to actually capitalize on that free trade agreement in order to enhance this volume considerably to a certain peak?
We can provide only vegetables, as she mentioned, or wheat. Agriculture products. Whenever you talk about fine products, finished products, Pakistan don't have capacity. So, people don't buy from you. They go for a better producer. For any, enhancement of bilateral trade, Pakistan needs that particular training. What kind of quality is needed by Malaysian buyers. Here I mentioned the technical cooperation between Pakistan and Malaysia would definitely support Pakistan, and I am looking for that.
Special Investment Facilitation Council, then Green Pakistan Initiative. Of course, the revolutionary measures being brought in by the incumbents in order to revolutionize that sector of agriculture. Of course, agri-related products are required by everybody, whether it be Malaysia, whether it be any other country.
But there are many, look, the best possible wheat used to come from Ukraine and Russia. Why Pakistan focus only 5,000 year primitive products like agriculture, like wheat, like vegetable, like fruit? Why don't we go for other products which are related with the technology? Pakistan usually sell, which is the primitive, 1,000 years old. Our farmers are producing with minimum support from the government.
Huge potential
And
when it comes to technology in terms
exactly.
of information technology.
Yes.
As the world stands at the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution, the trained and the skillful workforce.
Tehami, last point I want to say. In 1970s, Pakistan used to sell these fans, pedestal fans and ceiling fans to Malaysia.
We had a lucrative industry working.
Yes.
in Pakistan.
So just imagine, but our, which is called lathing, our lathing is stands still there where it was in 70s. We couldn't, go for a change in technology or innovations, and meaning by the capacity building and you can say value addition.
Right. Ms. Naela, this particular technological cooperation program under which 700 people have been imparted training from Pakistan, the guidance coming from the expertise from Malaysia, what needs to be done? Do you think this number, 700 people under that particular program, cooperation program, is sufficient? And how do you think that could be capitalized and more value addition could be done in order to enhance the capacity also?
Tehami, you're asking a question which is rather painful. You see, we don't, whether it's Malaysia or any other country in the world, if you don't put your house in order, there is no magic wand which is going to work for you. You have SMEDA, you have NAVTEC, you have all these institutions which are supposed to do that capacity building. When we were in Malaysia, every time we would get this letter from Islamabad, oh, find out how they're doing this, find out how they're doing that. And when I would ask, they'd say, it's your rules we are following. You have everything with you. The only thing is, you don't implement. We took it from you, we implemented. You wrote our constitution, we respected it. You drafted police reforms, we followed it. You did administrative reforms, we followed it. And now you're asking us how to do it. Just do what you are doing. We don't implement. We are so good in writing legislations upon legislations. When it comes to implementation, we have a very serious problem. No one is going to come and solve it for you. We have to do it ourselves. Be it Malaysia, be it Indonesia, be it anybody else. We have to start now looking at ourselves.
Okay, so when we talk about what does that particular thing happens to be that attracts the Malaysian investor in particular in Pakistan, especially given the fact that Pakistan authorities have launched that special investment facilitation council in order to attract that foreign direct investment. Ultimately, they are going to lead into enhancement of the exports and products to the world over. How, which areas, specific areas, do you think Malaysians are more keen and interested in?
Dekhiye, we keep on reinventing the wheel. Forgive me for saying this. Malaysia is interested in cooperation with Pakistan. They think you're very smart people. For example, medicine. They want scholarship in your medicine. They need good doctors, and you have the best medical schools in South Asia. But we don't respect our own institutions. You have the best engineering institutions. They want to take that scholarship from you. They want to learn from you. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim also had his education here. Do you know that? He has great respect for Pakistani institutions, and we are talking about learning from them. So it shocks them.
It's a two-way exchange of ideas.
It has to be two-way,
Yeah.
but you are so capable if only you realized your potential. Now, given the fact that we have not utilized our potential while Malaysia has, the main focus was always for them human resource development. We have not focused on human resource development, whether it is manufacturing, whether it's service sector, whether it's agriculture. We do things randomly, like Haroon Saab said. Millennia old technologies are followed. We don't want to change. While Malaysia industrialized, mechanized and developed, might they have learned from us, but why have we forgotten our lessons? Why is it that we are not doing that So now they have to come and tell us, listen,
So-
this is where you stopped, move on from here.
So, in context of this particular upcoming visit, how do you think where Pakistani authorities should be actually focusing on? What should be the focus, and what could be transpiring that could likely benefit Pakistan both in the short and the long term?
First of all, I would recommend that our authorities, because you have, like mentioned, we have free trade agreement with them, we have also MCMC, we have telecommunication, we have so many things. Why don't we solicit their support to become full dialogue partners of ASEAN? 97, when we were there, we got the sectoral partnership. Since then, we haven't moved forward. It has been how many? Almost 30 years. Why? We have to look at that. And a lot of good work has also been done in Pakistan, which we don't publicize. When Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim comes, I think we should showcase that. All the development that has taken in Pakistan. He has been here as a student, as a young man. So he has very fond memories of Pakistan. It would be nice if we show him how much forward we have moved. Of course, he has a lecture in NUST and he'll be given honorary doctorship there too. But I think we have so much to showcase if only we would focus on it, that this is here we are working, this is where you're working, and we can synchronize.
Could you identify those three top or major areas where we could actually tell the foreign
IT.
dignitary?
IT for one. Pakistani IT is excellent. Your software board is there. That should also play a role in it. Your agriculture, because Malaysian agriculture is basically palm oil, rubber, and a few other things.
So that's an advantage Pakistan does have over Malaysia.
Exactly.
But Mr. Haroon tends to disagree why Pakistan would sell only vegetables to the Malaysians.
Dekhiye,
The
even
third
if you
area,
sell
please.
a vegetable, I'll tell you a joke. I'm sorry, I'm being a bit facetious, but we were introducing the potato and onion sellers because our problem is that we get bumper crop once in a year and we say, oh, sell it, sell it. Business doesn't happen like that. Business has to be sustainable. If you want a market for your onions, then you have to produce that much onion sustainably for years ahead. It's not that this year you had a bumper crop, sell your onions. Next year you don't have onions, what are you selling?
So consistency leads to
Consistency is not
sustainability.
there, number one. Market accessibility will not come until you have sustainability. Now I was telling you this joke, I often tell when I give lecture on this also, that we brought Pakistani onion and potato sellers to showcase our product. When they went there, mostly Chinese are in business in Malaysia. So the Chinese Malaysian said, so you're producing potatoes? And they said, yes. They didn't know much English, that was also a problem. They said, please tell us the nutritional value of your potato. Now the guy who was to sell scratched his head, tossed his head and said, Aloo te aloo hi hunda hai ji. How can you sell potatoes at that high-end market? It's not that. You see, if you sell organic, organic has great market in EU, in ASEAN, everywhere, but your farmer doesn't know the nutritional value, is not competitive in international market. It doesn't matter if you're selling potatoes or onions, but do you know the biology of that? Do you know what fertilizers were used? How organic it is? They have no information.
So we need to have better marketing at that.
Exactly. Marketing and branding. You lack branding, you lack marketing, and there SMEDA has to play its role. The Small and Medium Enterprise Development Authority has to work, has to stand up to the situation. They are not doing that. I'm sorry, with due respect to SMEDA. There's so much to be done here. It doesn't matter, you're selling potatoes, good. But is your potato competitive? Do you know what is its skin nutrition value? How much calories does it have? What soil was used? What fertilizers were used? What climatic conditions were used? The poor guy didn't know. How do you get accessibility?
Right.
So, as I said before, we have to put our own house in order. Malaysians are open. Now, their deputy minister for transport is coming. So, obviously, one, Proton is here. Secondly, in infrastructure development, when you talk about tourism, tourism is not just people coming. Tourism is a whole package of infrastructure. Do you have roads going to those areas where you want to say, we are doing ecotourism, we have beautiful nature, but do you have infrastructure? Do you have protection for the tourists? Do you have security for the tourists? Do you have the right standard of hotels there? Do you have right services there? Water, electricity? You don't. So, if you want tourism development, you have to first bring these things in. And Malaysia has done a great job with it. We can learn from their experience, how they have made service stations. We have done that on motorway now, but there's so many places you need to do
Point
to
well
develop your infrastructure.
Received. We are joined by another participant on the phone line, Mr. Talat Shabir, senior analyst. Mr. Shabir, thank you very much for your time, for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. How are you looking at this particular upcoming visit by the Malaysian Prime Minister to Pakistan? A 3-day official visit is going to have, of course, meeting with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. A wide-ranging agenda between Pakistani and Malaysian authorities is going to come under discussion. What is the potential in the future when we talk about various aspects, specifically talking about trade between Malaysia and Pakistan?
Thank you very much, Jawad, for having me on your show. I think this is a great opportunity for both Malaysia and Pakistan to strengthen our relationship for future. The 2 days visit that is starting from tomorrow, I think it will be focusing on a range of issues that both countries would wish to discuss. And of course, as you mentioned, trade, connectivity, IT, tourism, and many such areas are on the agenda which both officials of both countries will discuss during this visit. Now, there are two aspects of this visit. One aspect is that bilateral relationship that Pakistan and Malaysia enjoy for the last many decades, and this relationship is actually shared with culture, faith, and history. So there's a lot to discuss when we talk of bilateral relationship. There's a lot to discuss about both countries. Now, there's another aspect which is very important, is that since Malaysia is ASEAN member and becoming chair of ASEAN next year, that is 2025. So Pakistan also has very recently connected to this regional integration arrangement, and we are looking at our relationship with ASEAN countries as a whole, and Malaysia is going to be a pivot, be playing a pivotal role in this. So there are the two different forms that we can take advantage of Malaysia as a country. Now, coming back to, I was listening to the honorable participants of your show, that we need to create, of course, we need to create an environment where we can attract investments in our country. We can convince businessmen from Malaysia to invest in our country, and we can also create opportunities for them to be able to, have access to what we have to offer them in the country. And of course, that is going to be mutually beneficial for both people of both the countries or business people of both the countries. I think during this visit, the relationship, since many business people are also accompanying the Prime Minister, and there are many thinking people are also coming. One such delegation we are also hosting in our Institute of Strategic Studies tomorrow. So we are discussing bilateral relationship with the think tanks of Malaysia. Some of the very senior think tank officials are also accompanying the Prime Minister. So the focus is going to be business between the two countries, people-to-people contact, culture, IT and connectivity, and of course, think tank to think tank collaboration that we both countries look at during visit. So I think from our perspective, this visit is going to be a great opportunity to connect with each other on a range of issues that Pakistan, for Pakistan, it is must to engage Malaysia in order for having a greater cooperation by Malaysian Prime Minister and people of Malaysia.
Right, Mr. Shabir, when we talk about connectivity in its simplest form, geographically we know that Pakistan and Malaysia lie quite at a distance. They are not geographically connected. In terms of connectivity, or what could be the possibilities on that particular front? In what forms the connectivity between Malaysia and Pakistan could be firstly achieved and enhanced, also vis-a-vis China-Pakistan economic corridor that happens to be exclusively a project of connectivity. We have seen Pakistani and Chinese leadership offering other countries to become part of that very visionary project also. So how do you look at that? How that particular connectivity, being Malaysia and Pakistan being geographically distant, could be achieved?
The connectivity concept is a wide-ranging concept. It's not only that you are connected geographically to a country that you will have connectivity. For instance, the many Middle Eastern countries, we do not have geographical connectivity, but we still connect with them through people, through our other mediums. So I think, and another thing that is very important is regional connectivity. Whenever we talk about connectivity, it is regional connectivity. For example, ASEAN is a good arrangement of regional connectivity. And of course, it goes much beyond the physical connectivity or, contiguity. So people need to be connected to the people of other country if you want to be connected. For example, at the moment, 5,000 Pakistani students are in Malaysia for higher studies. So that is a connectivity. So if we have business people and if we can manage some good business deals during this visit, and we can connect business or industry and trade people, so this is also going to be a great connectivity. So I think we will have to see this connectivity as a wide ranging concept, and we must. And for instance, many people talk of faith. Faith is also one thing that connects us to Malaysia. So there is a huge opportunity, and huge opportunity in all the fields that are being discussed. And I'm sure there's a lot of state work done in order for reaching some conclusion, and there are going to be many MOUs signed or collaboration arrangements made during this visit. And of course, as I mentioned, that ASEAN Forum is very important forum where Pakistan and Malaysia can play a very pivotal role in order to connect the region.
Mr. Shabir, one last question and a quicker take regarding that. When we talk about the collaboration between Pakistan and Malaysia in the field of defense, how it had been and what are the prospects when it comes to the defense production from Pakistan, and how much trust does Malaysian leadership carry along with itself when it comes to the defense cooperation between Pakistan and the defense products of Pakistan?
I think defense is a very important area. And we have defense cooperation with many countries, and so is Malaysia. And as when we talk about bilateral relationship, it is the relationship of mutual trust. So for defense to have mutual trust is very important. So I see great opportunity in defense cooperation between the countries. And of course, the trust level that we require to have in making any defense deal is important. And Pakistan can help a lot to Malaysia and vice versa in helping this cooperation on defense.
Mr. Shabir, senior analyst, joining us on the phone line. Thank you very much for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. Ms. Haroon, unfortunately we're short of time. A quick take, closing comments. Firstly, about defense collaboration, also the kind of trust we have seen that has developed worldwide as far as Pakistani defense products are concerned.
Yes.
So how can Pakistan capitalize on that front when it comes to collaborating with Malaysia on is concerned?
Recently, I was in Baku, and trust me, there was flags hanging over different private houses, Pakistani flags, because what? FGF 17.
Thunder.
Yes.
Right. Ms.
Well, we
Naela.
have JCDC, Joint Commission on Defence Cooperation, where we do discuss defence cooperation. Pakistan and Malaysia have very well-founded defence collaboration. Navy also has joined in. So there is a lot of trust, there is a lot of cooperation, and there is further potential for enhancing cooperation in defense, in trade, in education, in culture, in tourism. And we can look at all these areas. It's very doable, and it's a very good opportunity, because I know that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has special soft corner for Pakistan. We should utilize that.
Point well taken. Ms. Naela Chohan, former ambassador and former special secretary Foreign Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Pakistan. Thank you very much for being with us on the show tonight. Really appreciate that. And Mr. Agha, Iqrar, Haroon, senior analyst, thank you very much for your insightful discussion also in the show tonight. Really appreciate that. With that, we come to the end of today's episode. Till the next one, take good care of yourselves.